This is a Fat Daddy Tech Review, made by me. AKG. So in today's video we're going to be reviewing the AKG K245 and the AKG K275s. So a little bit of history. AKG have been making headphones since, well, they were founded in 1947, which is a little while ago, 75 years I think, if I can count. Unfortunately, they died in 2017. They were purchased by Samsung and the original office was closed down where they made all of the, quality headphones that they were renowned for. The engineers then moved over and created their own company called Austrian Audio, which currently makes their own brands of headphones. I haven't tried them personally. Even though I'm quite new to the audio environment in terms of quality stuff, I'd heard of AKG before. And so I was keen to try them, and as you can see I bought two pairs, so I must really like them, but we'll get to that. So to begin with, we've got the K275s, which they retailed originally around 180 English pounds. They don't anymore. They're always on sale for about 70 to 80 pounds on Amazon, brand new. I got these secondhand off eBay. They were new and unused. Take that as you will, but they come with a complete packaging. They look like they've never been used to me. However, right, what do we get in the box? So obviously I've repackaged this. It didn't come like this. Inside the box you get your headphones, obviously, because otherwise what did you just pay for? And inside here we have the AKG K275s. These are closed back headphones. Whereas the K245s are open back, which is a difference in sounds. I'll go through that a bit later. Also inside the box you get your rubbish, obviously, more rubbish. You get a little bag to keep them in. It should be said that these headphones, they're designed to fold, right? But there's not much difference when you fold them to when they're open, so they're not very portable. So you get this bag, which do not fit the headphones when they're unfolded. They only fit in here when they're folded, and it is a bit of a squeeze as well. So you get, it's quite a nice quality bag. It's all fluffy inside, to protect your headphones and everything. They connect via XLR cables. This is slots into the headphones itself. If I could do it. Like so, and it clips in and down clip it, so it's completely locked in, and then you have to unclip it by pressing that. It then terminates in a 3.5mm jack for your audio source. So yeah, the front of the box, pretty basic, pretty relaxed, just tells you exactly what the model number is, shows you a nice picture. The sides, pretty basic, some little information, well balanced, so yeah, we'll get a judge of that. On the back we've got all of the highlights of the product, all of the bits and pieces, specifications, etc. If anyone's interested in that, you can read that there. There we go. The cable is coiled, and it does unfortunately have some problems with microphonics. It rubs against your clothes and everything. It does resonate into the headphone. It's not a big deal. When music's playing, you don't notice it, to be honest with you, especially since I only use them stationary. I'm not really going anywhere with them anyway, so it doesn't bother me. But obviously if you consider buying them, that's quite a thing to consider. The K245s, exactly the same packaging. Honestly, when they arrived, my children thought I bought the same headphones twice, but I was like, no, there is a difference. We'll get into that. Yours might not come with the lovely scratches on the front. Mine wasn't packaged for delivery. This was brand new from Amazon. They literally slapped a sticker on it and then posted it. But that's a feature. We'll think of it as a feature. But yeah, the box is exactly the same. It's got exactly the same packaging. It's got all the specifications. They do slightly differ on the K45s in comparison to the 275s. But we'll get into the individual little details later. So inside the box, it's exactly the same. Obviously, this was brand new, so I've just repackaged this just to show you how it came. Obviously, the headphones are wrapped in this. For some reason, I can't get these back in there and then in the box, so this is what you get. So you got your AKG K245s, they're open back, which is the difference, and exactly the same with the 7275. You get your rubbish, your full source dingus adapter, your egg bag, and your XLR cable. So that's about it basically, and your pieces of silica gel in case you didn't, you know, in case you needed it. So it's important to remember, reviews, as in this one, it's only the opinion of myself, and I'm an idiot, so, you know, take what I say or don't, it's up to you, but it's just my opinion. I can only compare these to things I've listened to personally, things such as my speakers. I've got Wharfdales, which I absolutely love. I'll get to them one day. My TV, I suppose, has speakers in it. You know, I had a little mini sound system. I've got my wife's headphones as well. I've got earpods. However, you know, I can only compare to what I've actually used, so you've got to take what I say with a grain of salt. So in terms of pricing, in my opinion, these are fantastic value, especially when I compare them to the Ferrari T350s, which I reviewed previously. Considering the Ferraris cost £300 new at the time, I think these are a great deal. So we've got, to begin with, we've got the K275s. Like I said, I bought them for £36 on eBay. I believe they're about £80 new on Amazon. The 245s are currently £40 on Amazon. They've had a price drop from Googling, I found out. However, you know, for £40 you do get a lot. They are completely all metal build. They have memory foam pads, which are just lovely. They feel very high quality. Obviously the self-adjusting headband, which AKG are famous for, and I believe these were the last ones designed before the office, the AKG office was bought by Samsung, and then turned into a mobile brand or something like that. So these were designed by the old engineers which now run Austrian Audio. The K245s, again, it's a full metal design. These ones are open back, or so they claim. I'm not sure they're completely open back. Again, same lovely memory foam and adjustable headband. The K245s don't suffer as badly with microphonics up the cable, which is interesting because it's the same cable, so I don't know why that is. But again, it's not noticeable during use anyway. So the bass on the 245s is much more prominent. It's not quite as detailed as the K275s, as in the lows feel a little bit more muddy. It's only very, if literally you were A-Bing them, would you notice it. But they sound absolutely lovely. In terms of mids, they are fantastically clear. You can hear every single note and instrument used in a piece of music. For example, a lot of the Kings of Leon stuff, if you've got a cheap headphone or cheap speakers, they tend to be like a wall of noise that comes at you. Whereas if you listen on these or some good speakers, you can really tell the instrumental differences in what they're using. In terms of the highs, K275s, they definitely have better highs. So one of my favourite songs, people take the mickey out of me, but I think it's a beautiful bit of music, is Christina Aguilera's Hurt. I think she's got a phenomenal voice anyway. I don't like all of her stuff, but some of it's very good. And on the K275s, it just sounds magical. The highs are so crispy. I just absolutely love them. That's not to say that the K245s sound bad. They don't. The highs are very, very detailed and very, very clear. It's just that they just lack that little panache on top. And it is a little bit noticeable. However, it makes up for it in other areas. Like I say, you get better bass, and the mids are about the same. So more bass for the 245s, which is weird considering they're open back, which is supposed to be less bassy, and less bass for the 275s, but clearer high ends. So as someone who likes bass, I don't like too much, not to the point where it will actually drown out other, sources of the audio, because I find it can be very fatiguing, and I don't really want to listen to it for too much. But I do love it, especially sub bass, so you can feel. I really love it. I have a subwoofer, and it's just fantastic. Transforms your experience when playing games, watching movies, or listening to music. It really does add another layer to it. These, to me, are just perfect. There's not too much They're not too little. These can be a little bit lacking on the bass. They're a bit thin. That's not to say it's not there, and the frequency is very good. The sub bass you can feel is fantastic. But yeah, overall, I'd say the AKG K245s at only £40 on Amazon are just absolute steal. They're all metal design. The sound is absolutely crisp and beautiful. I don't know why they're not more popular. Like I said, I can only compare to what I've used. I don't have access to, I'm just a normal guy, I don't have access to like a warehouse full of different things to try and compare them to. This is just what I've used. I'm very happy with them. I tend to use the 245s as my daily driver for video games, movies and music. And my K275s, like when I'm up in bed, I don't want to annoy the wife, because obviously they're closed, they leak no sound, whereas the 245s, they leak all their sound. In terms of space, the 275s are quite good in terms of spatial awareness with sound. However, the 245s are a step above. For example, I was playing Splatoon 3, and after I got these, because I like these so much, I bought these and I put them in and immediately noticed that the audio in Splatoon 3 is actually directional in the waiting area from above and to the left of you, which I never noticed on the 275. So it's like an extra layer of clarity. In terms of tuning themselves, these are a bit brighter, the 245s. They tend to feel a bit more fun. However, the 275s, they do feel like they're a bit darker and a bit more detailed. So I do like both, so it's hard to choose really. I literally use these downstairs more because of the spatial awareness, rather than the sound quality being that different. They fold completely flat, so if you was to wear them around your neck, someone decides to come and speak to you the moment you put the headphones on, then they fold down nicely and they're much more comfortable than ones that sit up completely and jut into your chin, which I very much like. In terms of actual comfort, they're lovely. They don't weigh a lot, in my opinion. The 245s are slightly heavier than the 275s, but there's really very little in it. On top of that, we've got the headband, which is either real or fake leather, I'm not really sure, but it feels very nice. It doesn't get hot during use. The K275s, I have to say, they do retain quite a bit of heat because they're closed back, so my ears do get a bit warm after about an hour of use. Whereas the AKG K245s are open back, so they allow your head to breathe. And I've noticed that these are much more comfortable for longer term use. I don't know if that's a general thing for all closed backs. Again, my only comparison is the Ferraris, which were semi-open back, but my head did often get quite warm in them. They both fold down, exactly the same. Honestly, apart from the grills, they are the same headphone. They are slightly tuned to a different standard. So these go up to 28,000 kilohertz and these go up to 25,000 kilohertz. In practice, what that means is the highs sound better on this. There's not much in it really, to be honest with you, and considering these cost double this, you're getting a much better deal with these. In terms of using them in a day-to-day scenario, I use mine with my television. It's running through a DAC and a headphone amp, so they sound absolutely fantastic. I also use them with a USB-C adapter for my phone, because modern phones don't come with 3.5mm jacks, which is really annoying. However, it works perfectly fine. I have to turn the audio up a little bit. They're a bit harder to drive than, say, the Ferrari T350s, which were super simple. I wouldn't want to use these on, say, the 3DS with its poor audio, because I just believe you wouldn't get any sound. Even though they're rated for the same amount of ohms, yeah, they are harder to drive. I'm not really all that clued up on the intricacies of it, but yeah. I definitely have to turn the volume a lot louder on these compared to the Ferraris, for example, but it's not a big deal. Like I say, the phone about 80% volume sounds absolutely fantastic. So that about wraps it up. So yeah, thank you for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. I love making it. This is a good fun little new hobby for me. So I'll be carrying on making it, just reviewing bits of tech that I've got around the house really that I've enjoyed that most people may not have come across or may be considering buying. Like I say, you can still buy these on Amazon. I'm not sponsored by them or anything. So yeah, really good price, really good value for what they are. So yeah, thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next video.
Subscribe and ring the bell.
If you enjoyed the content, there'll be more in future.